Welcome to my Soul Life and Visions Conscious Vibe. I am back to vibe with you, back to vibe. I don't know what that was about, but I am back to vibe with me because I am you and you are me. I don't even know if I pointed right, but who cares because it's the same thing. I got the sage lit for you guys. This is like the third time I lit it. Which third time is perfect number. But I kept lighting it so I can cleanse your energy in your space. But I would just go off talking to myself, staring at myself without pressing record. And the next thing I know, it's off. But I got you, and it's lit. It is literally lit. How are you guys feeling? That's such a deep question right now because, oh my gosh, Mercury was in retrograde. I can't talk right now. I don't know what's up, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna keep talking. Just bear with me. I don't think I can ever clearly talk. Well, I can, but like my words just slur for some reason. Never mind, I'm not even gonna say that. Yeah, Mercury was in retrograde. That was heavy. In a good way though. Everything is, my perception of things is, even if something goes like literally off the wall, it's off the wall for a reason. So everything is about perception and how we see things. But Pluto is in retrograde too. I feel like I've been feeling that energy heavy recently. Pluto's all about death, transformation, rebirth, because death is rebirth. And intense emotional energy, which that right there, oh my gosh. I have been feeling it like really heavy. That's one reason why I haven't made any videos recently, like in a week or something, like over a week, which I'm definitely, I know in the past I didn't stay consistent for different reasons because I want to say I wasn't fully ready to, on a continuous basis, put out videos for different reasons that only God and I know. But now I am gonna continue being consistent and gonna continue with my flow. But at the same time, if I'm not completely wholesome with my energies, I'm not gonna put out a video. I'm just not, because for obvious reasons. Why am I gonna put out a video if I'm like feeling it with my energies, my emotional energies or my emotions are like up and down, or when I tell you guys I've been feeling the emotional energies like super intense, trust me, they've been super intense for me. Things have come around that I've literally waited years for, and it's been intense. It's been very intense, but I'm feeling better. I've been taking some time to myself, to write, to meditate, and when I say meditate, I use meditation in different kinds of forms, depending on how I'm feeling. It's not always me just literally just like zoning out, just, crossing my legs and just literally zoning out. But I zone out in different ways. So I'll meditate through writing, or I'll meditate through, I go out in nature a lot. Going out in nature really helps me so much. I love to ground and set my feet on the grass and go and just sit in the auric field of a tree. And it sounds weird, but I'll talk to the tree and I'll try to absorb its energy and its wisdom. Trees have so much wisdom. They've been around for so long, and when you step close to them, you're exchanging energies with the tree too. And that's a form of meditation for me. Going out into the park, watching Shelby, my little dog, play around, run around. That's meditation for me. Looking at the sunset and just getting lost, or gazing into the stars, into this vast universe that we live in, and just letting my mind just get lost and roam free wherever it is, whatever thoughts wants to come into my mind. And sometimes it's listening to some kind of music, or listening to some frequencies, or listening to subliminal messages, or some kind of video, whatever video pops up on my YouTube feed. There's no coincidences in any of that. So there's a lot of different ways that you can meditate. When you zone out on something and you clear your mind from other things and you're just focused on that, I mean, that's meditating. At least for me. I mean, I don't know, I kind of make my own rules. That's the Aquarius in me. But yeah, that I've been working a lot on that, because I've had so many things going on and so many different things coming back into my life, and it's been an emotional wave for me. It has. And again, going back to why I'm saying all of this, I'm never ever going to make a video if I'm not right. And it's not even if you see me, you wouldn't even notice, but I know how I am. I can feel myself within myself, because I'm in tune with how I'm feeling, and I'm in tune with what's right and I don't want to say what's wrong, because there's nothing that's ever really wrong, but I know when I'm feeling a little bit unbalanced. And this past week, I did feel very unbalanced emotionally. Not as much as it may sound, but just because I'm not used to feeling so emotionally unbalanced, I really needed some time to myself. I really needed some time to just escape this physical reality however I could, by secluding myself and placing myself in solitude, and really just being with myself and my mind and my heart and my feelings and my emotions, and figuring out what's really going on and how I'm gonna take a next step, and that next step being something that's out of love and not out of hurt, or not out of whatever emotions it is that wanted to rise. But at the same time, whatever emotions did arise, whether it's hurt or anger or sadness or confusion, whatever, all of the emotions, literally, I felt all of the emotions. But knowing that it's okay to feel that way too. All of those feelings are valid. You're never wrong for feeling angry. You're never wrong for feeling sad. You're never wrong for being afraid. You're never wrong for any of that. They're still emotions, and they exist. But how long we dwell in it, and how much we allow it to take over us and our happiness and our emotional stability, that's where the choice is on us. And I needed to sit with that, and I needed to allow myself to just feel whatever it is that I needed to feel, and not be hard on myself for feeling however I felt either, because a lot of the times we are hard on ourselves. We are, and we can be unkind with ourselves for feeling different emotions, or for different things happening and us not understanding why, or there's a lot of things that can bring us down in this life. There really is. There is, but it's a choice. It's a choice. And there are always going to be different things that happen and things that don't happen. And again, how long we want to dwell on it and the perception of how we want to see it, that's all up to us. It's all up to us. And a lot of times in the past, when things would arise, I would be hard on myself, and I would wouldn't come from a loving space to myself, for myself, and within myself. I would just let that energy just bring me more down and ask myself questions that's gonna bring me more down, and continue to contemplate and to allow the confusion, or allow all those different emotions to sink me more in a hole than I really needed to be. Sometimes I'm not saying that situations aren't like, oh, that's not a big deal, like, but at the same time, sometimes we make things way bigger than they need to be. We really do, just because we stay stuck in our head and we stay stuck in those emotions, and we don't allow ourselves to just feel. And when we start to just allow ourselves to just feel, then we leave room to heal. We really do. And this time around, I gave myself that space to, no matter what emotions I was feeling, to know that still, hand by hand, I don't know, side by side, have those emotions, whatever low emotions I was feeling, still on the other end of that, side by side with that, continue reminding myself of why it happened, why it could have possibly happened, why it happened for me, not to me, but for me, and everything that came out because of that situation. And that's how I continue to, okay, I'm feeling this, but look, I would just, like, I'd smack that negative energy back with something super positive. And I know it's so hard sometimes to find that positivity in these situations. I know, trust me. And I mean, my current situation of what happened and why I got so emotionally intense, or my emotions got so intense, is because it's a pretty deep situation. So don't think that I'm talking about just a super light situation. Like, trust me, I understand that when life hits you, it hits you, but we always have a way of hitting back. Are you just gonna continue letting it just punch you in the face, or are you just gonna realize that you have literally an arm or something that a prop that you can grab and block it, or just ask God, have my guardian angel stand in front of me and surround me and protect me from these energies that I know I'm not meant to feel, or I'm not deserving of feeling. And if I do feel them, God, pull me right out and allow me to see the other side of that. When we get into the dark, we don't have to stay there. We can walk right through it and realize that we are the light walking through that darkness. But sometimes we allow that darkness to just dim our own light. We really do. And I got tired of doing that. I really got tired of doing that. It wasn't taking me anywhere in life. I wasn't progressing. I wasn't progressing on a physical level. I wasn't progressing on an emotional level. To say that, I mean, you see, I'm catching what I'm saying, but I wasn't. But at the same time, because everything does happen for a reason, deep down, without me really realizing, I was progressing. I was going through those low motions to be able to appreciate these highs that I'm going through now, of literally everything in my life now. It's completely flipped after I stopped dwelling so much in what was going on and realizing, just reminding myself that it's happening for a reason, and it is growing me, even if I'm not seeing it in that moment. If I'm feeling like nothing is happening within my physical life or internally, things are always moving. There's never any kind of dull moment in our lives that we're not spiritually growing. Now, how fast do we want to grow? It's not a race, it's not. But when I say how fast, I mean, are you slowing the pace of your growth because you're just dwelling too much or too long on something and giving it so much energy that you have that it doesn't deserve from you, and it's keeping you there? Yeah, you're still growing through it. You are, in your own little small ways, you are. But we also have a choice to, you know what? I'm not going to continue dwelling here. I'm not, because it doesn't make me feel good. It's not taking me anywhere. I can feel it. It's not taking me anywhere. And my growth is relying on me getting out of this space mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. So, to say all that to say this, and I know I say that often, and I'm going to continue saying it. To say all that to say this is that no matter what it is that's happening. My phone cut off. I do that stuff on purpose. I don't know why, I'm sorry. Yeah, my phone cut off. I lost storage, so now I'm on my other phone. So if it's kind of shifting, I'm sorry. But as I was saying about saying all that to say this, no matter what it is that life throws at us, whatever emotions it is that arise or don't arise, or things that happen that we can't exactly figure out the why they're happening for us, we have a choice to take ourselves out of it or not. And we're the only ones who can. We are the only ones who can. If we get too caught up in, for one, being hard on ourselves for whatever it is that arose in your life, or whatever situation it is that came at you for growth, it's our choice how long we want to dwell in it. And nobody can take us out of that. Yeah, sure, there's different things that someone can say that kind of sparks something in you, and it gives you the strength to reach into your own strength and realize that you have the power to pull yourself out of that, and to realize that God is always with you. God and your angels and your spirit guides and your ancestors, they are always with you, and we're never alone. We are never alone. And if you need time to yourself, be selfish enough to know that you deserve that time. You deserve that time to heal. You deserve that time to really sit with whatever it is that you're feeling, and you are the only one who can heal that. You have the power to heal yourself. You just have to allow yourself to just be in that moment. Pay attention to whatever comes in and whatever goes out, but be selective with what you want to come into. Be selective and know that you deserve love. And I say love because I don't know what situations you're all going through. You don't know what situations I'm going through. But I know that I deserve to come out of this with love. I know I deserve to not be stuck in that emptiness, not be stuck in that confusion, not be stuck in feeling unworthy, not be stuck in feeling lack of self-love, or feeling whatever emotions just aren't that. So love yourself enough to know that no matter what it is, it's happening because God wants you to grow through it. Literally to grow through it. God's watering your soil, God's watering your seeds, because you don't even realize what kind of beautiful flowers God wants to have blossom. But we have to heal. We have to give ourselves room to heal and to let go of whatever it is that we're carrying, and make space for all the love that does want to come in. And a little tied into that too, not the reason why I made this video, but what I intended to really focus on is allowing ourselves to love who we are. Literally forgetting about everything that's holding us back from that, and anyone holding us back from that. In the most recent days, I've gone through different little things and different conversations and different situations where it's made me realize even more than I have already realized how we all are going through the same little things in different little ways, and how much we really suppress who we really are and what we enjoy doing, and creating whatever it is that we enjoy creating, and pushing aside our passions because so-and-so said this about it, or because so-and-so doesn't like it, or because something happened when you were so being so free about expressing whatever that is or doing whatever that is, and someone had something to say that you just like, whoa, that caught me off guard, because I feel completely different about it. But you allow that to linger within your mind, and you allow it to linger within your heart, that it keeps you from walking down that path that you're meant to walk through, from that passion that you were born with for a reason. And it humbles me when I come across such talented people, such beautiful spirits, such beautiful souls, and they're suppressing who they really are, and they're suppressing those talents, and they're suppressing their beauty and their love because it's been damaged by people outside of us. It humbles me to realize that, you know what, we're all going through something within our mind. We're all going through something that we're trying to get past, and we're trying to fight through, and those insecurities that arise because we allow different things in our life to decide where we're gonna navigate in this life. And I don't want to bring in the emotion of like, it saddens me to hear that, and it saddens me to feel it, because I know sadness is a choice, and I don't want to bring any of that emotion really into this. I don't. But to really realize how we affect others, and how our choice of words affect others, and our choice of expressing affects others. Now, of course, it's a choice whether we decide if it's going to affect us or not, or whether it's going to affect us in a good way. But when we're still trying to figure ourselves out, sometimes it does affect us in a way that it really brings our spirit down. It really puts a huge damper on how great we feel about whatever that passion is, or whatever that desire is, or whatever road it is that we're trying to take, and someone just comes and they just block it. They just block it. It could take just a simple comment to just destroy someone's world that they're living in. Sorry. And that's why it humbles me too, because now I'm in a space where I can express to someone that, you know what, because I'm filled with the love that I'm filled with now, I'm now able to radiate some of that love onto someone else. And because I've also been in that situation, it humbles me to be able to feed someone love that they're missing, that they have within themselves, but that they are blinded to right now because someone else blurred their vision, because someone else decided to place a stop sign where it doesn't belong. It's literally creating all this traffic, creating all these accidents, creating all this havoc by choice. By choice. And the choice is us allowing or not allowing for that to happen. But I know I get it because I've been there. I have been there so many times, and I'm just barely getting out of it, where I have this grand idea, or I have this amazing thing that I want to share and I want to express, or I want to show, or I want to do, and then I present it to someone, and then it's just like, you don't get the reaction you think you're gonna get. And that just, it really hurt. It really does hurt you. It does. If you're not emotionally strong, if you're not completely, if you're not in a space where it's like, I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say, because I'm so strong in feeling what I feel for this that I'm not gonna let you steer me off into another direction that I know I'm not meant to go through, or that I'm gonna end up going through and then realizing like, okay, no, I gotta backtrack because this is what I was meant to do. And that happens to a lot of us. It's happened to me so many times. That's why I can relate and I can connect with that feeling. But I also unplugged myself from feeling that too, where it's like, you know what? No. Now I'm in a space where I love myself too much to let anybody's opinions or anybody's thoughts or anybody's words steer me off into another direction that I don't belong. I've gone in other directions far too long. And at the same time, every single time you do steer off into those other directions, just like I mentioned earlier, it's still growing you. Life is all about growing. It's all about growing, but also enjoying the moment and enjoying the experiences that we go through, that we grow through. But we don't have to go into that other direction to be able to grow. We don't. We can literally take the fast pass and stick with what we feel. Stick with that feeling that God literally planted into our spirit, into our soul, into our minds. That idea that God placed there for a reason. It's a choice to stay there and stay strong in that and stay faithful that, you know what, God, even if this person doesn't feel the way I do, that's okay. And I love that they don't, because that just shows me that they are within their own mind and they're within their own right, and they're using their own minds to feel whatever it is that they're feeling. And that's to be respected. And that's to be appreciated too. But we can't ever put someone else's thoughts or everything that I just mentioned, their words, their feelings, their opinion, we can't let that be greater than how we feel. If not, we're always gonna be going in different directions. We're always gonna be going in different directions, backtracking and then going again in another direction and backtracking, until we end up figuring it out that, you know what, I have to care about how I feel more, and I have to put myself above other people's opinions and their feelings. Or sometimes we literally let it slip too far away and you just end up not caring. Too much time has passed by. You think time is linear, it doesn't really exist, and there can't ever be, it's never too late until it's literally too late in this physical life. So the choice is ours. The choice is ours if we're gonna allow people to continue to steer us into another direction, if we're gonna continue to give them the keys to our car and take us wherever they wanna take us. But we're the ones with the key. Why give it away? Nobody else has your key. Just like a car, a vehicle, nobody else has your key to that ignition. Only you do. So why are we making copies for other people and giving them away when it doesn't belong in other people's hands? It doesn't. We're literally having them tell us what we should create in our lives and what we shouldn't. What we should do in our lives or what we shouldn't. How we should act, how we shouldn't act, what we should say, what we shouldn't say, how we should live, how we shouldn't live. If our creativeness is creative enough or not. If something we do is gonna make it or not. If people are gonna enjoy it or not. Who cares? Who really cares? You know how many millions of people there is out there? 9.7 billion people. I said million, no, it's billion people at least accounted for. And you're allowing this 1 or 2 or 3 or even 50, 100, even 1,000, I don't care, even 1,000,000. Guess what? There's billions of other people out there. And you're allowing them and their thoughts and not realizing that, hey, we're all going through something. And maybe it just wasn't the right moment for them to hear it or to see it or to experience whatever it is that you're passionate about, whatever it is that you were filled with God, from God, when you came to this earth to share with the world, or to share with even a few hundred people, to share with 10 people, to share with your neighbor. The number doesn't matter. But the impact that you make in just one person, for you even just being free to share and to do what you're passionate about, you inspire others. And even if you just impacted one person, which we're all constantly making some kind of difference in people's lives, whether you realize it or you don't. Even if it's something through a simple conversation, whether you realize that or not, you're playing a role in their movie. The choice is yours, what kind of role it is that you play in their movie. I'm sorry, I must say really quickly, my daughter, my little girl is on her cycle. So she's been crying. I'm sorry. You just kind of just tune her out for me a little bit and just stay focused with me. But as I was saying, we have a choice. Everything comes down to choice. Everything is always going to come down to choice. And the choice is yours if you're going to allow someone to ride you around in your own car and take you wherever it is that they want to take you, or if you're going to decide where you want to go. And if you're going to decide that, you know what, I enjoy doing this. And even if my parents don't think so, or they don't see what I see, or they don't feel what I feel about it, I know what I feel inside, and that right there is enough. How you feel about whatever it is, that is enough. God doesn't just give us these things for no reason. And God doesn't just place us here for no reason. And nothing is too big nor too small. Just look up at the sky and realize. Allow yourself to just sit in the moment of realization of how vast this universe is, how infinite this universe is, how endless the possibilities are out there. And realize that God created you. And we are a part of God because of that. And nothing is impossible for God. And I believe that a lot of times in the beginning of us figuring ourselves out and remembering our passions and remembering what makes us feel right and what sets us aside from other people, the energies that roam around this physical earth are purposely placing those people who aren't exactly in that same energy of whatever it is that you're feeling about your passion or your desire or what you feel so good about doing, on purpose to steer us away from doing it. Because once we sit in the enjoyment of what it is that we're doing, where it doesn't feel like work, it doesn't feel like, oh, well, all right, I gotta force myself to do this. No, it's just, it freely flows through you. We become so powerful when we get in that space of truly knowing who we are inside, because that's a part of knowing who you are, knowing everything you enjoy and everything you don't really enjoy so much. We are powerful. We're so powerful when we don't allow anything outside of us to put us in a detour and literally block away what we have going for us. We're powerful AF. I don't normally say it like that, but we are so powerful. So of course the energies that roam around this physical earth are gonna place those people that they can manipulate and control to tell us, nah, I don't know, I think you should work on it a little bit longer, or maybe you're not ready, or it's cool, but I don't know, I'm not really feeling it. Whatever it is that they say that kind of just like literally you feel like you've just sink. Your spirit just sinks, because that energy doesn't want you to become powerful, doesn't want you to be closer to God, because that's what it means too. We're getting closer to ourselves, we're getting closer to God. And once we get in that space where, you know what, God, I don't know how, I don't know where, I don't know who, I don't know what, I don't know, but God, I just know that I know that this feels right to me. And I'm just gonna stick with that. Doesn't matter what Sally, doesn't matter what Nancy, doesn't matter what Bob has to say. I appreciate it, I respect it. Thank you so much for sharing your opinion with me, but it's not needed in the most respectful, loving way. I personally don't ask anyone for their opinion of what I'm doing. I don't share things of what I'm doing with other people either, because I am now in that space where it doesn't matter to me. I appreciate it, I really do, and I'm being genuine when I say it. I appreciate it because I love when people are thinking for themselves and using their own mind, and they're using their own mind to say like, oh, I'm not feeling it. That's perfect. But you know what? God has me doing this because there is someone out there who is gonna feel that passion that I'm feeling about it, who is gonna have what I'm passionate about, have something spark that passion within them too. Because I know that God doesn't do anything for no reason. And God didn't place this within me, and this feeling, and this just a literal sense of a feeling of just peace within myself when I'm doing this, that whoever doesn't agree with it, that's perfectly fine, but I'm not gonna let them stop me. And that's why I don't leave room for people to give me opinions when I'm not looking for them. And if they give it to me, thank you. But all right, move along. That sounded kind of rude, but no, I'm not. If you know me, I'm not rude. I'm not rude, and I appreciate anybody, whatever it is that they have to say, because I'm in that space now where I'm comfortable with myself. I do have that self-love now, and I have that closeness with God, that I live by full faith that everything is for a reason. Everything is for a reason, and those people may be placed on my path too to test me and to see, okay, let's see if you let me show you, Cyndi, how powerful you really are in your own thoughts, in your own mind, in your own feelings, to see if this person, what they say is gonna help, is gonna steer you off of what you're doing. And that's how I take it. That was a great test. Thank you so much. I passed. And that's it. Move on. Literally, move along. And I just continue. And you know what? at the same time, when we're that strong too, where we don't let someone else's opinions or thoughts or words or feelings steer us off into another direction, they take notice in that too. And that's also, even if they don't mention it, even if they don't tell you, even if you never see this person in your life again, everything is stuck in our subconscious mind. So subconsciously, they're gonna feel your energy that, you know what, wow, I told this person this, and they're just like, okay, thank you. And they're just continuing, like it didn't even bother them. Literally unbothered. I know when I've been in that place too, where I wasn't so comfortable with myself and I wasn't so loving with myself and what I, literally all of the energies that make me me, and someone shared something with me and I was like, is there more? I've been there too. I've been that person. I have been that person. And when I've seen that my opinion doesn't even affect them in any way, it's like, okay, cool. Like, damn, I need to be like that too. Nothing of what I said affected them. I think that's beautiful. It's beautiful, and that inspired me too. That helped me get out of that space also, where it's like, you know what? Why am I gonna bring someone else's passion or how good they feel about this? Why am I gonna bring down their energy? Or why am I even gonna attempt to? Whether it did or not, that's their choice, and they chose not to. But sometimes that's not always the case. Sometimes it really does affect us in a really dark way. It can. But at the same time too, that's why we have to be careful, and we always have to reflect and think before we say, and take a moment to take a breather before we respond in a situation where it's like, okay, if what I'm gonna say to this person is what I'm going to say to this person going to possibly affect them in any way, or the choice of words that I use for them to take it in a different sense where it's gonna bring down their spirit, or it's gonna stay in their mind, even if they don't tell me at that moment and they just play it off like, okay, move along. Subconsciously, maybe later it'll affect them, or they're just, it's still recorded in their subconscious mind, where one day later, or who knows, years later, someone else might say the same thing, and then they're gonna remember when you said that. And maybe it took years for them to actually be brought down, but because of the choice that we made to not think and come from a place of love, we affected that person, making a change, making a difference, even if it's in one person's life. So we have to be careful. We have to first love ourselves enough that, you know what? When we love ourselves enough, we don't want to hurt another person. And when we realize that I am you and you are me, you're not going to want to go and hurt yourself in a different body. I always think about that. Now it's stuck in my subconscious mind where it's like, you know what? I wouldn't want this to be said to me. And if this was said to me, my mind goes in a million ways at once, a million directions at once, that they might take it this way, they might take it that way. God, let me take a moment to sit with you really quick, a few seconds before I respond, to make sure I'm coming from a loving place, to make sure I'm not gonna bring any traumas on someone else, or I'm not gonna kill someone's dream just because I'm not coming from a loving place, and because I'm not filled with love myself right now. And I get it, it takes time. It takes time to be able to find that love within you. But every little baby step you take is still a step. And I know I had to take a lot of baby steps, and there was a lot I had to reflect on, and a lot I had to think on, and so many different situations where I have been that person where I was not so loving in my responses, and I would react and not think first. And God knows I'm trying to heal that through energy, because everything is energy. And even if these people, I just saw them just once, I'm trying to heal from now making the difference of the people that I do see, where it's like, you know what, I'm not going to respond in a place that is not out of love. Because I've seen what that has done to me. It's been done to me. And I've been on both ends. And we've all been on both ends. But it's all by choice. I chose not to be on that other end anymore, where it's like I'm bringing other people down. Even if I don't, we're not all gonna, there's billions of people out there. Not every single person is gonna feel or see what you see, or gonna enjoy what you enjoy, or, I mean, obviously we know this. So even if you don't exactly, you can't really see what they're trying to present to you, or you can't feel the passion that they're feeling, there's different words can be weapons, or they can be literally food for the soul. So the choice of words that you use makes all of the difference. Makes all of the difference. I'm not saying you have to go and like everything, or I'm not saying like, oh, someone shows you something, it's amazing. I'm not saying that, but what I am saying is just speak to God first, and have God give you the words to tell or to express however it is that you're feeling in a loving way. There's always two ends to everything, the loving and the not so loving. How you choose to respond is all your choice, but don't react. Do not react, because that's when we go putting traumas on us. When you put a trauma on someone else, you're putting a trauma on yourself, because I am you and you are me. And place yourself in that person's energy, in that person. Place yourself and see yourself in them too, to say, okay, if this was me and I felt so alive showing this or doing this, and I go and I show it to someone else, and I say whatever it is that I'm thinking of saying, is that gonna hurt them? Would that hurt me? And if so, find some different words. Find some different words to say. There's thousands of words to say. I even make up my own. Literally, I even make up my own. But first and foremost, everything starts with love. Everything starts with love. And what also helps me a lot too in these different situations is me placing myself through God's eyes and say, okay, if knowing that God lives within me, God, how would you respond in this situation? How does the God in me respond to something like this? And it always just helps me to come from a place of love, because God is love. And God's never going to bring anybody else down. And God's never going to use some choice of words that is going to run wild in someone's mind and have them think something different and bring them down. God always has the perfect words. And if you take a moment to just breathe and not react, and allow God to flow the words right through you, it's going to be perfect. Whatever you say is going to be perfect, and it's not going to affect them in a way that it brings down their spirit, or it goes steering them into another direction, and you have the keys and you're not realizing that you're the driver. And you played a role in their life, and you played a role in that. We're all here playing a role in everybody's life. And everything is consciousness. Everything is consciousness. To make a conscious effort to be mindful of how we're treating other people. Because how we're treating others is how we're treating ourselves. I am you and you are me. And the more you try to really get to know other people, you're going to realize that You're literally gonna see yourself in this other person or these other people. You are. It happens to me 24/8. Yeah, there's 8 days out of the week in my week. Yeah. But it's so true. It's so true. And my friends that know me, they know I'm constantly telling them that I feel you. Like, I really do feel what they're saying, because I've been there too, or I really do see what it is that you're depicting, because I see it too. Or they're saying something and they're speaking about how they're feeling, and I felt that way too. And that's how I also know it's God working through both of us, because whatever it is that I say, they need to hear, and whatever it is that they say, I need to hear. And I'm talking to myself. It's like I'm literally having a conversation with myself. And I also am constantly saying, I am you and you are me. I'm constantly saying it because I'm constantly feeling it, and I'm constantly seeing it, and I'm constantly experiencing it. Because it's in my conscious awareness, and I'm mindful about that. And I'm in tune with allowing myself to be tuned to that. That we're all the same here. We are all the same, and all we want is to just love and be loved. But it's a choice. It's a choice. It's always a choice. And it'll always be a choice. I think I said the same thing, but it's okay. You see how kind I am with myself, though? I practice it. I really do practice it. And sometimes I catch myself, and you'll catch me catching myself, where it's like, okay, let me reflect on what I just said, or let me not say that because I'm not coming from a loving space, or let me not say that because I'm not being kind to myself, or just different little things. I'm human too, and I'm working through my growth. I'm always going to continue to try to better myself and always stick to being in my higher self. It's a constant journey. There's no end. There's no beginning. It's just constant. And don't get me wrong, life is about also just living in the moment of who you are right now. Not getting too caught up in, oh, I want to be this like all-knowing mystic or Buddhist, or I don't know. Probably not. That probably might not resonate. But we have to just enjoy being in the moment of whoever it is that we are in the moment, even if it's not sometimes not so loving, but because that not so loving space that you're in is going to help you appreciate when you are loving, and help you know that, okay, I wasn't so loving then. Now I can see that this is how I should have responded, or this is how I should have acted, because I can see the difference. I can feel the difference. I experience the difference. And it comes back to being kind with yourself. The knowing that there's no such thing as mistakes. And even if you've been in that, I've been there too. And we have to be honest with ourselves of what we've been, who we've been, and who we are now. That's not who I am. I know who I am. Who I am is love. And I know that that wasn't my energy. And it's not something that I'm not proud of it. There's a lot of things that I've done in my life I'm not proud of. But I am also wise enough to know it was a part of my growth. I had to be not so loving, because now I can just experience all of the difference of how I am now. And sometimes, yeah, I do want to kick myself, and I do want to, that's not being so loving. But I do sometimes, because I'm human. It's like, I think of these things and it's like, oh man, Cyndi, why did you do that? Why did you say that? Who knows what this person is feeling now, and if they ever remember what it is that you said and how you made them feel, even if it was just a word or even just through your face, because I'm so transparent. I do get those moments where want to bring my energy down. I do. But I have to continue to remind myself and talk to God, to talk to them, to heal whatever it is that I may have caused on them. My closest connection and the closest connection we're ever going to have to others and anything else outside of us is through God. And if I can't, even if I won't ever see these people ever again, even if I only saw them for a split second, I can talk to them again through God. I can, through myself. God's always listening. God's always with us. God's always feeling what we're feeling. And that's my way of healing that part within me too. Because I know when I brought sadness onto other people, I brought sadness onto me too. Because that's not who I am. It's not who I am. That's not who any of us are. It's just that energy that's roaming around this physical earth that we allow to consume us by choice. All by choice. I say that over and over and over again. Everything is by choice and everything is perception. But that's my way of getting into that space of being kind and loving to myself again. Knowing that, you know what, God, I know I did this and I'm not happy about it. But God, you see what I do now and how when I get these same scenarios or situations, I don't respond in that same way. And that's me healing that also. And everything is energy so those people can feel it. But because of that too, because I don't want to continue hurting myself through hurting other people, I am you and you are me. I'm mindful because I love myself enough to not hurt myself again in that way, to hurt other people. Just because I can't come from a loving space. Not that I can't, but because I'm choosing not to. So I really am hard on myself when it comes down to staying in that loving space. And even when I get out of it, bring myself back into it. Because it happens, we're humans. It's constant, it's continuing to do, continuing to be mindful, continuing to just continue. There's no beginning or there's no end to it. It's not like, okay, I did it yesterday, check. I'll take a break tomorrow. Sounds silly, right? No, it's constant. It's a constant effort. It's a constant energetic flow that you have to grab hold onto. It's not this on and off switch. It's not like a light switch. You just flick it on and flick it off. No, it literally, there's no off to it. For me, there's no off to it. I have to continue to stay in a loving space in here, because when I'm staying in a loving space in here, I'm gonna be loving to other people, to everything outside of me, not just people, but animals, nature, the trees, the birds, the sky, the air that I breathe. Thank you, air. Like, even just something as simple as that I love it. I love it and I express my love to it and it knows how it feels. Something as simple as that. It's all the baby steps. You see my eyes. It's all the baby steps that we take that make a really big step. You don't have to jump and leap a whole mile. No, we don't. As long as you're making small baby efforts and you're catching your thoughts and you're catching your words and you're catching your interactions and how you interact and how you react, to not react, not how you react because you don't want to react, you want to respond with love. It's not about reacting, we don't react. It's not about reacting anymore because then we're not in control. But it's all those little steps that make the biggest difference. Practicing in small ways. Practicing in small ways to love the plants. Love an ant. Love the dirt, the grains of the dirt. Like, Love the concrete. If not, what are we gonna be walking on? There's so many things that you can learn to just through the, even, I mean, it might even be hard for you to try to do it through the small things. Do it through the big things then. I don't know, whatever works for you. The small things and the big things work for me. Constantly through everything that I see, I'm constantly making an effort come from a place of love. And if I'm not, that's telling me how I'm feeling inside. When you're not coming from a place of love, okay, I need to reflect what's going on. Cyndi, how are you feeling? Let's take a moment. Let's write. Let's read. Let's walk in the park. Let's walk bare feet on the grass. Let's go and talk with the tree. Let's figure out what's going on. Let's figure out what's going on inside. Because however you're acting outside of you is how you're feeling inside of you. And that's the biggest keynote for you to know, okay, there's something inside of me that I gotta work on. There's something inside of me that needs some healing. And take the time that you need. You deserve the time that you need. Don't get too caught up in doing and going and coming, and we need to take some time to just be with ourselves. We need to, hi my love. We need to, excuse her underwear here. I have another one who's on her cycle, a woman, I tell you, woman. Oh my gosh, it's hilarious. Isn't she so beautiful? You see, even this right here, I practice with my kids to come from a loving space always. And yeah, it happens where they do something and it wants to test me. And even when I do get tested and I react, it's like, okay, Cyndi, what's going on? Let's talk. Let's talk, Cyndi. Tell me how you're feeling. What is it that's going on within you that had you react and not come from a loving space? Because it's a direct reflection of the love that you're lacking within yourself. It's there, but you're hiding it from your own self. Here's my other little daughter, the one who's crying. Yeah, you're the one who's crying. Say hi. Say hi, mama. And she's so beautiful, huh? Say hi, Nova. All right, I'm gonna put you down, okay? So, I think I'm going to sip some tea and show you guys my mug that says inspire. I don't know if you can see it. I think you can see it. It says inspire. And the reason I chose this is because when we choose to come from a space of love, when we choose to respond with love and not react, we inspire others to do the same. Everything is energy and people can feel that energy. And even when they're not in a lots of loving space, everything is stuck and gets recorded into our subconscious mind, where later they may think, and even if they were so ugly to you and you still responded with love, that still sticks with them. Whether they admit it at the time or not, whether it takes them years to reflect and come back to that moment where they shared with you, you still, somewhere deep inside them, you're inspiring them to, you know what? Why am I being ugly to someone else? And once you start asking yourself that question, you'll realize that it's something inside you that you allowed to traumatize you, to take over your loving energy and take over your loving space. And when we choose to just be ourselves, and when we choose to come from a place of love, and when we choose to not allow any other person's opinion or whatever, however it is that they feel or they don't feel about your passion, your desire, whatever it is that you love, you inspire other people too. Even if they're in the background and you don't even realize, you're inspiring. So, I know I should have taken this out, but I kind of like to do whatever I want. No, I'm gonna take it out. I'm gonna take it out. Oh, I didn't take it out because I wanted to show you the leaf. Oh, let me bring it back. Super cute leaf. I don't know why I keep saying leaf. This feather. I was looking for one of these for forever, and my mom found me one, and she got me this little feather. It's so cute. So let me sip my tea, and I also wrote something like 2 nights ago, a little in regards to what I kind of just mentioned, and I want to read it to you guys. I want to share it with you and see if it inspires you too. I'm drinking some solar plexus tea right now. I believe it's solar plexus. I'm pretty sure I got the solar plexus one. Super good. So I'll end this video with a video. No. I'll end this video with a poem from me to you. So here it goes. I wrote this 7-2. Oh, not 2 days ago. Oh, wait. Oh, okay, that's why, because I wrote it at 1:42 in the morning, so technically 7-1, but technically 7-2, according to time. But yeah, we already know how I feel about time. Anyways, so here it is. Let me take a deep breath. Why do we allow ourselves to believe what others say? Why do we allow ourselves to listen so much that we push our own talents away? What is it about others that we give them so much power? What is it about others that we allow their voice over God's to be louder? Why is it that we suppress our feelings, our personality, our characteristics? Why is it that we have such a hard time remembering that we are all natural-born mystics? With the wisdom to know that God created each of us for this earth, perfect in our own natural ways from the moment of birth. Regardless of what we may look like or what we may not, we all serve a beautiful purpose of being here, even the person who may at the moment seem a little distraught. Why waste a day hiding in our shell when we can come out and enjoy the breeze and smell? What's the point of living if we aren't living our truth? What's the point of living if we allow others to take our own life on a cruise? Why not take hold and control our own destiny? Why not let go of what's holding you from being free? Why not silence all the noise and listen to God's voice, telling you to just be yourself, unapologetically? That was good, right? That was good. I was inspired to reach into the feelings that I've felt before of allowing others to take control of our vehicle, to take control of our life, and literally steer us into another path that we ourselves know we aren't meant to walk on or to drive through or to even look through. But everything is always a choice, and the choice is yours if you're gonna allow someone else's words or someone else's opinion to take you somewhere without great views, with nothing great to look at. I'm talking metaphorically. I talk a lot in metaphors, but you can always decide today. It's never too late. You can always decide now to live through love and love yourself enough to know that God believes in you and whatever it is that you're doing, and to remind yourself that you deserve to love yourself and you deserve to be loved. And the moment you do start to love yourself so much, you'll just as easily just spread that love onto other people and not bring traumas or hurt or sadness, or you be the one to steer someone else off their path because you're not coming from a loving pace, or because you're not loving yourself as much as you deserve to love. So I inspire you to make that choice. Whatever choice you want to make, it's free will, but I inspire you to make that choice to always, even if it's not always, it's okay, but to come from a place of love as much as you can. First within yourself. It all starts with ourselves. Everything is always going to start with ourselves. Love yourself enough to know that you deserve healing from all those people or all those situations that may have ever made you feel like you're unworthy of how you feel, whatever passions you're feeling or whatever creativity you're filled with, or whatever the case is. Fill in the gap to however it resonates for you. But you deserve love. You are love. So just steer your wheel back into love, and remember to breathe in every situation and every interaction that we have. We have a choice to feed that person love and feed ourselves love, because I am you and you are me, or to feed them sadness and you in turn receiving sadness too. So I'll close it out with telling you I love you. I'm telling myself I love myself too. And till next vibe, as I mentioned, if I'm not good, I'm not gonna make videos, and I'm not gonna tell you, oh, I'm gonna make a video this day or this day, because when I feel it, I feel it, and that's just how I'm gonna do it. You know, I'm not, when the energy's flowing, I'm gonna make a video, but I'm gonna be consistent. So you guys can definitely continue to expect to see me more often and to share your energy with me too, because everything is an exchange of energy. And anybody who does watch my videos and who does feel it, even if you don't, but I know that that's not going to be the case at all. I know it. I know it. I know it. I love you. I really do. I really do. And I can truly say that because I love myself. I am you and you are me. So enjoy feeling whatever it is that you feel. Don't be hard on yourself. Sit with those emotions and choose which ones you want to dwell in and which ones you don't. So Life and Visions, Cyndi Deusa Lua here for you. And till next time we catch another vibe together. Bye.